this is Gemma, as you probably are aware, and I don't know why I felt the need to introduce myself there. So this is mobility for level 2 Pilates. Before we get started, just a few things to cover. So remember, if you're injured, then this is a no-no. We should not be doing it. If anything feels uncomfortable at any point during the session, then please just stop. There is nothing wrong with stopping, taking your time. Listen out to the alternatives that are going to be given, and you can always do those alternatives, okay? So with that, we shall crack on. So we're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. So remember, we can bring our feet together, we can turn them out to a 5 past 2 and a 5 to 2, or like Mary Poppins, as I always like to say, and then turn our heels out and we've got our hip distance apart. We can continue to gauge this through our session by using our thumb, our little finger, just taking it to the side, I don't know if you can see. So those 2 points, when we take them over the feet, our little toes should sit just within those 2 points, and that's a good gauge to use throughout the session. So shoulder blades back and down. I'm going to just turn to the side. We're going to do some pelvic rocks to begin with. So soften your knees a little bit, and let's just begin to rock the pelvis. So it's rocking backwards and forwards. So I'm just doing my hands with the same thing. So my hands, your pelvis is basically doing what my hands are doing. It's just rocking backwards and forwards. And this is bringing movement into the lower back. So getting that synovial fluid moving, nice and steady. Taking our time. Remember that movement is different for everyone. I don't feel like I have particularly a big movement as I do this. But I suffer with lower back issues, so my back can be quite tight and my hips can, so I think that definitely sort of contributes to how much movement there is when I'm doing a tuck. So then let's tuck it under and let's hold it in place. Straighten out the legs. We've got a slightly different posture to how we would normally stand, but that's okay because we want to have that slightly different posture. It shouldn't be uncomfortable, it shouldn't be painful. So the next thing we want to do is pull those shoulder blades back and down, pop them into those back pockets, and let's take a moment to focus on our breath. So we can take our hands and place them onto our rib cage, and we're breathing in through our nose and out through the mouth. Very noisy breathing from Gemma here today. Apologies. So now I've got used to that breathing laterally. Bless me, sorry. So that's how we want to be breathing through the session. So we want to be feeling the breath. Sorry, bless me. So we want to be feeling that breath coming into the rib cage. And we want to be feeling the ribs gently come in and out. Now, it's not going to be a massive movement that you feel. It's just going to be a small contraction and retraction as those ribs come in and out. But that's how we want to be breathing. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shoulders relaxed and down. Next thing I want you to do is take your focus onto your pelvic floor. So all those muscles coming from the back of the bottom, it's that U-shaped bell, remember, that comes up underneath. We want to be contracting from the back into the middle, into the front. So contract to the back, contract into the middle, contract to the front. Then bring your focus into your navel. So what we want is a nice strong core. So we're going to begin to draw the belly button in towards the spine so you can feel tension, but you can still move and breathe freely. So we're drawing it in nice and steady, controlled, holding it in place. So we've got about a 25-30% connection going on, and we want to try and maintain that as we go through the session, okay? So don't worry if it relaxes at any point, because I will continue to remind you about your pelvic floor and abdominal connection. But what that's doing is it's activating that transverse abdominal, so that big waist cincher muscle that comes around, holds all our organs in place. Those abdominals, the obliques, the multifidus, the erector spinae, the pelvic floor. It's activating all those things. So we're activating from all this, and this is where all our movement comes from. So shoulder blades back and down. I want you to imagine you've got a nice beefy juiced tomato resting under the chin, and we're holding it there nice and steady, and you're just going to rotate your head just round to the left, to the right, back to the centre, and then round to the left. And we're not forcing a big movement here, it's not a huge movement, just nice and steady. Breathing in, breathing out as you rotate. And all the time maintaining that postural integrity, okay? So that tucks under, pelvic floors engaged, abdominal belts engaged. So nice and steady, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. One more time. Come back to the center. We are going to just roll the shoulders up to the ears, draw them back, V-shape with the shoulder blades and down. So inhale up, exhale, inhale. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Now let's take it round. Opposite direction. So this time we draw it forward and down. So they go back together, up and down through the front. So again, inhaling, exhaling. Last 2. Just really bringing some movement in there. And relax. Let us just drop our right ear to our right shoulder. So just releasing some tension along the side here. So if you're spending a lot of time on the phone, on the tablet, computer, reading, knitting, crocheting, painting, whatever you may be doing with some of the spare time you may have at the moment, gently take it over to the other side. Then you may be feeling tightness in your neck. I'm not really getting much spare time. I'm a 4.5-year-old, but I've managed to get a few little bits this weekend, a little bit of crafting, but yeah, a bit different if you've got young children at home. So nice and steady, holding it there. Holding it there. And then bringing it back to the center. Let's laterally glide, but this time I want you to reach out to the side. So we're not gliding down the side of the leg, we're reaching out to the side. And again, if we've got osteoporosis, we are keeping that range small. We want to be going equal distance on both sides. So nice and steady. Breathing out, breathing in. Keeping that postural integrity, nice and steady, controlled. Let's have one more either side. And last one. So this time we're going to do a monkey squat with a rotation. So I'm going to turn to the side. So my feet are still hip distance apart. I can take my thumb and little finger, take it over, check. I've got that little tuck still. Cores engaged, pelvic floors engaged. I'm going to squat and I'm going to rotate. My head's going to rotate, my arms are going to expand, come back to the center. I'm going to breathe out. But I need to take a peek sometimes when I come into the middle, check that my toes, my knees are not surpassing the toes. So I'm breathing in, breathing out. Nice and steady. And again. Last 2. Last 1. Come up to the top. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Remember your gauge. We need to check. Let's sassy walk it out. Peeling the heels. As we peel, the hips sway, the shoulders sway, just like we're normally strutting down the street. I mean, I generally don't swing my head really. I exaggerated a little bit there, so I apologise. But yeah, just as you would normally walk, letting the body sway and move freely, openly. And then relax. Bring your feet together, hands on your hips, index finger comes across, check they're level. Remember, if they're not, we can adjust, but if you know you've got that diagnosis, please don't spend time trying to adjust because it won't happen. So just don't worry about it. So nice and steady, take one foot off the floor, lift into the big toe. We can rotate on the floor or we can take it off. That was a nice snap. And then rotate in the other direction. Then let's do the same with the other foot. So this is really just about getting all the snap, crackles and pops out. Rotate in one direction, then the other direction. then bring it down, easy peelers, hips stay level, so lifting into the toes, into the balls of the feet, shoulder blades back and down, nice and tall. Using the hands to feel that the hips are staying level, shoulders are staying level, just for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. That's our mobility done. I'm going to film the next part as one whole piece. So well done, and I'll see you in the next part.